If you guys noticed the crispiness of hearing my voice clearly, it was because of this mic right here on my last couple of reaction videos. It was just very, very intimate. I gotta get some headphones, so I do apologize if the quality of my voice is not the same as the last videos that I posted, reaction videos and whatnot. I do apologize for that, but it is what it is. But without further ado, guys, let's get right into it. Go.
Governments lie all the time. Oh, not just the American government. It's just in the nature of governments. Well, they have to lie. And since they don't represent the people, and so since they act against the interests of the people, the only way they can hold power is if they lie to the people.
Knowledge is power. The more knowledge that we have that you know, the more powerful that we are. That's it. So
If they told people the truth, they wouldn't last very long.
That's true. That's true. If they told us the truth about everything, they would not last very long. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Think about it. How important would their position of power be if we knew everything they knew? If they made everything knowledgeable to the general public? Just like taking consideration our history of our people. You know, years and years and years of history books that were made public, made available to public school systems. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't really share all the great things us as black people did as for the history of just the world, you know? Like, they just completely just erased that all. You know, they just wanted to focus on their people. And, you know, now we have to go to certain history books for people that were very objective. And they just told history how it was. You know, I remember watching a thing where, like, it was talking about something about a black person actually helped discover the North Pole. Now, I didn't do any research on it or anything like that, but a lot of people that's behind the scenes that's writing these books, I guarantee you would not put that in the books. But I'm using that as an example. You know, whatever. But we're in 2021. We're more woke now. We're more knowledgeable about certain things. We understand how certain things are, and especially everything going on. So, yeah, the knowledge is. We will still never know how much knowledge they have. You know what I'm saying? We have conspiracy theories, but I do believe that certain people allow things that the government knows to come out in different ways, such as movies. Supposedly leaked photos and footages and whatnot, and you know, we're going to get caught up. You know, we're going to get caught up, but they will always hide things. They will always hide things forever to make them feel superior and whatnot. But yeah.
Shore greeted with nothing but niceness, sailing west in attempt to find golden spices, dominated by the popes and frenzy for ISIS. The Catholic Church expelled Jews and claimed it was righteous. The first man to see land would get a reward and get a yearly pension for life, clearly from God. A young sailor saw land, said we isn't far. Columbus lied, said he saw it the evening before. They touched ground, they were greeted by the Arawak. Columbus had them locked up as prisoners in an hour flat. He wanted to find a source of gold, and that was that. And when they thought that wasn't fair, then he stabbed their back. When there was no more gold, he took slaves instead and left 250,000 Indians in Haiti dead. The men died in mines, the women died at work, the children died from lack of milk, and they died in the dirt. They were just taking advantage of a passive people. They were just being the savages of massive evil. That's the church work, that's the path of massive ego. That's the blood of Abraham being stabbed by the steeple. At 16, 19, they were patiently waiting for a ship to carry slaves that was changing the nation. The white man was a cannibal praying to Satan. Hatred, contempt, or pity, or patronization. That's the cornerstone, everything racism based in. The African had a more advanced civilization. Black was slave, master was white, rationalization. 50 million dead, that's Western civilization. At first they appeared in the north, and they were powerless in the face of superior force. And all of them were chained together, they really was lost. Racism isn't natural, it's merely divorce. Before the slave trade, black was considered distasteful. By the Oxford Dictionary, I found it disgraceful. It's not a natural tendency to be bitter and hateful. It's a natural enemy of the critical staple. Slavery grew as the plantation system grew. The reason for that's kinda easily traceable. Society of helpless dependence was capable of saying fuck a slave master, you in slavery too. 7 slaves were put to death for murdering master. Fear of slave revolt had them developing faster. You a Catalan killer, an elegant bastard. I would burn the white man while smelling the ashes. From time to time, white man was part of the resistance. White indentured servants wanted no part of the system. King Philip's War showed that if people would listen, that they could maybe break the complex chain of oppression. Tyranny is tyranny, but that's a concession. But the women, they was treated like that of possessions. Black women had it work cause they was abused. That's the white justification of Aryan blues. The next move was to dominate the Mexicans. James Poe dominated them like they was next to kin. He sent Colonel Cross a lot of them and let them in. 11 days later his skull was crushed, so message sent. We take nothing by conquest, that was the mantra. The military wasn't human, they were just monsters. Henry David Thoreau refused to pay his taxes, denounced the Mexican War and got locked in shackles. The 20th century opened, anger re-emerged. Reality of ordinary life was being heard. Anarchists and feminists came from factory work. Communism, socialism seemed to be rebirth. War is the health of the state is what Bourne said. And if you was born around that time, you was born dead. The Espionage Act had people confused, cause it was double talking, they didn't know how it be used. Supposedly it was an act against spying. Du Bois know that that was bullshit and they was lying. Charles Schenck was arrested in Philadelphia for printing and distributing leaflets cause they was helping you. He was indicted, tried and then found guilty, and spent 6 months in jail. Don't that sound silly? Had his freedom taken away by his own nation. But there's a lesson, do not submit to intimidation. The act still exists today and this shit is real. Supposedly Kennedy tried to have that shit appealed. Eugene Debs did 10 years.
Hold on, I'm just gonna read this real quick.
For no purpose.
Oof. I am opposing a social order in which it is possible for one man who does absolutely nothing that is useful to amass a fortune of hundreds of millions of dollars, while millions of men and women who work all the days of their lives secure barely enough for a wretched existence. Okay.
He obstructed the recruiting and enlistment service. The post office started taking mail privileges of magazines who printed anti-war sentiments. A socialist named Fairchild had it right. He said that they can shoot me, but they can't make me fight. They sentenced him to a year in jail, and that was reckless. 65,000 men, conscientious objectors. They were sent to army bases to work there. They were treated sadistically and were hurt there. They were strangled with a hemp rope till they collapsed, and officers punched their stomach and they lowered.
What the fuck? Let me not even trip. My fault, man. It's just like, worse, that's horrible. That's truly horrible, man. But I'm tripping. I'm over here tripping on this scene. Worse shit doesn't happen. Worse shit doesn't happen, bro. Worse shit doesn't happen for real, yo. I mean, that's just like that's an eerie scene to watch. Like, and then they making the towel. They making the towel wet. And then, he just continued to shove that shit down his throat, like.
Back, a garden hose was placed on their face with a nozzle about 6 inches from them so they couldn't swallow. The war ended in 1918. The government was just trying to wipe the slate clean. Hemingway wrote Farewell to Arms. Dalton Trumbo wrote Johnny Got His Gun. The war was over, but they didn't learn their lesson. Twin tactics of control, reform and repression. The patriotic fervor of war had been invoked. That's why the country that you live in is a fucking joke. You cannot be neutral on a moving train. This is a story about the lies that your teacher told you. This is real action. Factual. No lies in the whole record.
Yeah.
If you don't believe me, look it up. I'm trying to share the shit that I learned with y'all. Do the knowledge. Your government does not care about you. The people in power do not care about you. Understand that. Power to the people.
War is like a fix. You know, you get high on war. We won. And then you're down on the ground again. And you need another fix. You need another war. Why do you think we've had war after war after war after war? Every war they say, this is the end. This is the last war. In World War I, they said, this is the war to end all wars. And then, not long after that, was World War II. And then soon, the United States was waging war in Korea and then in Vietnam. If you study history, what you learn is that wars are always accompanied by lies. Wars are always accompanied by deception.
We as people are have this image drilled in our heads about what we're supposed to do at a certain age and time after we're young, and we do all the goofy stuff that we do at a young age and whatnot. Is to raise a family. Find somebody that you love, raise a family, all that stuff. Your goal is to protect your family. Be there for your family. Be there for your friends. Be kind to one another and whatnot. And that is all great, right? But, in doing that, which is a great thing, is which things you should do, and we're drilled in our heads, we need to focus on that. That's another tactic to sit up here and allow us to be oblivious to the stuff that the American government is doing, And I understand we need to focus on getting a roof over our head and closing our backs and food on the table. You know what I'm saying? It's a chain reaction. What's stopping me from quitting this job? Because you need money. Why do I need money? Because you need to pay your rent. Why do I need to pay rent? So you can have a roof over your head. Why do you need to have a roof over your head? So you don't die. Why do I not need to die? And so on and so forth. I get that. Raising family, love each other, one another. We're focused on us. We're focused on the bag, but we're just oblivious to the stuff that the government is doing. But there are people, and there are ways to there's more and more people that are more and more woke. I'm not saying that there's not people in every single generation that we're listening to and paying attention to and fighting what the government was doing. We have mass protests and this, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? We're paying attention. We're focusing. There's news channels that are telling us what's going on, but in some extent, it is always going to be controlled by the people in power. You know what I'm saying? And the one fear that people in power have is they don't want to lose their power. So, they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's what Kanye West said. You know what I'm saying? And I guess my whole point of saying all this stuff is don't let yourself be distracted by all this stuff you got going on with social media and stuff like that. There are people that, whatever. And there are some people that were actually made aware of police brutality because of incidents with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, all of them. Life really is about what you pay attention to. And if you choose to pay attention to this, a lot of this stuff doesn't shock you. So a lot of this stuff in this particular video didn't shock me because I paid attention to certain stuff, but people don't pay attention to it, they're going to be shocked. You know what I'm saying? That scene where they were putting the towel down the dude's throat and watering the towel and whatnot, that was an eerie scene, but I drew myself back because I knew for a fact, because I pay attention to certain things, and I know there's a lot more things worse that have been done. You know what I'm saying? So just pay attention, be aware. You can focus on your family, you can focus on it, but don't get distracted too much to the point where you're just oblivious to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just be aware. We all need to do stuff. Roof over our head, closing the backs. We all need to enjoy life. But don't don't be ignorant and also enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I had to say about this video. I got challenges coming. You know what I'm saying? Marvel challenges. I got to talk about stuff on Disney Plus. I got to talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I got to talk about the WandaVision. I gotta talk about all types of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta talk about how fucking if it wasn't for the motherfucking beam of Godzilla, Khan would be whooping his ass. But yeah, man. Until next time, guys.